Okay. I think I'm ready. So, today's stream was a little delayed because we found a giant snake in my backyard that kind of delayed things. But that's a different story. I'm going to go ahead and say that I did go ahead and, since we beat Garuda, this is going to be how we're going to finish Realm Reborn in this I think this is the Paladin set. But we're waiting in the queue. So, yeah, we look all holy-like. I couldn't find, on short notice, like a very cool sword, so I got one that's like just moderately cool. But the shield I think is really cool and it glows when you hold it. Because I think, Shadow's been through a lot. I think he deserves to look the part. Long queue today. There we go. Maybe not that long. Ooh, whoops. I did show there's going to be a small breach of continuity in how I did this. Alright. Because I'm already in Mordona. But that's okay. No. Why'd you have to start that? Why does that start streaming? No. We're resuming where we left off in part 4. Okay, so we went from Corthus and we landed here. Well met, friend. What brings you to Revenant's Toll? Did I hear you rightly? Your friend's being held captive of Castrom's sentry, and you want to rescue them. I don't mean to discourage you, but that might prove difficult. The stronghold has been on a high alert of late, with armored patrols seen about the perimeter around the clock. Not even a fly could get in without 100 yalms of the walls detected. If the Guardians were alerted to our coming, we cannot know what they will do to Menphelia and the others. We must act with the greatest stealth. Aye, it has to be a good old-fashioned infiltration. But with security so tight, how are we going to smuggle ourselves in? Why, I've got a mind to walk through the front door. The front door? Aye, we disguise ourselves as Imperial troops and march right in. For this, we'll need a few sets of Imperial uniforms, a suit of Magitech armor, and impeccable timing. That's a bold strategy, but it just might work. Where we are, there's certainly no shortage of opportunities to borrow equipment. Knowing these Imperial bastards, they won't even suspect that we savage Eorzeans would think to use their technology. Then it's settled. If you're determined to go ahead with this, I'd recommend you speak with Glomant. The fellow's got a personal grudge against the Empire and happens to know a deal with Castrom's sentry besides. I've no doubt that he'd want to be of aid. Ida and I shall go to reconnoitre Garlean activity of the stronghold. It would not do if something were to befall our comrades before we had the chance to act. Come and join us when you're ready, Shadow. Let's do this. Sometimes I wonder, Ida, are there ever times where you are not enthused? I'm nothing if not enthused, Ishtola, and you're beginning to remind me of Papalimo. Looking for Galamad, are you? Well, you found him, whoever you are. You're looking to get inside Castrom's sentry and you need my help? Something tells me we're going to get along just fine. It is so loud in Mordona. There's so much stuff going on since the weapon stuff can be found here. So many mounts. It's a cool place. Anyway. Getting even with Garlemald. So, you friends at Castrom's sentry and what want for rescue. The Slaftborn knows me too well. Aye, you can count on my help. I've got a score to settle with the Imperials, and I never passed an opportunity to get back at the Horsens. But enough about me, let's talk strategy. Rescuing folk from captivity is right delicate business. A single oversight, just one little blunder, and it's all over. You can't leave any room for certainty. For starters, you need to confirm beyond the shadow of a doubt that your friends are where they think they are. You don't want to risk your neck only to discover you've been moved elsewhere. But how can you find out, you ask? By following these instructions. If you approach Sentry from the east, you'll see a swampland to your left called the Tangle. Get in there, never mind the Morbles, and navigate your way through the southwest corner. You'll come across some drainage pipes down the stronghold. Don't ask me how I know, but one of them leads back to the command tower. If you listen closely, might be as you can eavesdrop on the happenings within. Once we know for certain your friends are there, we'll move to the next stage of the operation. Now get going, and Godspeed. Alright. Feels good to go back from the, our decorated self. Or to go from our shabby self to this decorated version. I don't remember the sky looking like this in Mordona when, I guess it would have to. Because I'm in New Game Plus mode, so what's happening currently in the story won't affect it. He's got the new polar bear mount. These Nixes, when I've played the game normally, are real annoying. You try to get past them and they'll use their tongue to flip you back in. Okay, so there's Castrum Sentry. Here's the Tangle. The faint sound of conversation echoes down the pipe. What of the captive? Does she still refuse to speak? She may as well be deaf-mute for all the information we've gotten out of her. The others aren't much better. The Ellison gets on my nerves most of all. Every time he opens his mouth, it's only to spout gibberish. I do wonder, why is the Tribunus so obsessed with this Minfilia woman? They say she's possessed with mystical power, something we Garleans don't have. Mystical power? Like the kind the beastmen use. How am I supposed to bloody know? If you're so curious, why don't you ask the Tribunus yourself? As well try to tumble her. I like my head where it is, thank you very much. Our break is over. Best we get back to our stations. The footfalls grow fainter until it is silent. The piano is pretty, but I know I started off a little bit better off with walking naturally to places, but I need to finish Reborn before September, and right now it is August 14th. Oh, wrong person. 'Tis good to see you again, Shadow. I've given to understand you have conducted some reconnaissance. Tell me, what were you able to learn? Minfilia and the others are indeed at Castrum Sentry, their presence thus confirmed. We must proceed with the mission. While you were afield, Sid took the liberty of devising plan of action. Pray, have the details from him. Good work, Shadow. As Alphino has already told you, we've plotted out a course for the rescue. The gist of it is unchanged. We disguise ourselves as Imperial soldiers and infiltrate the stronghold. Glama is looking into ways to procure a suit of Magitech armor. In the meantime, I need your assistance for some preparation of my own. Minfilia and the others are counting on us, Shadow. Let's not keep them waiting any longer than necessary. It just took a leap there. It went from level 44 to 46. But drowning out the voices. While Glama goes about devising the plan, we need to see to some preparation of our own. It wouldn't do if the Imperials were to discover that they're short on armor. To prevent this from happening, I'm going to put together a makeshift communications jamming device. The explanation is like to get a bit technical, so bear with me. Imperial forces communicate at a distance via electromagnetic waves. Simply put, voices are born into aether lightning energy that permeates the air. Now, the hill-sized cluster of corrupted crystals to the west has been observed to amplify the self-same energy. By making use of this property, we should be able to drown out Imperial voices. To ensure that we have enough amplification, we must identify the most potent crystals among the cluster. For this, I need you to go there and use this device to take readings. I'll mark the likely places on your map. Oh, and just so you know, plasmoids are drawn to lightning energy. Don't be surprised if you run into a few. Because the reason that I'm wanting to get this done before September is because September to me is Slime Month, and this mission seems real. I'm doing reconnaissance and doing stuff. It's already getting me excited for Slime Month again. This time I am going to record it and put it on my channel. I decided not to make my channel exclusively Square Enix stuff. That was the original idea. That's why I didn't post last year's Slime Month on the channel. And I don't think the channel existed until after I already filmed the first couple episodes, or already streamed the first couple episodes of the Final Fantasy Marathon. I remember it took me forever to find this little stairs made of rock before. I am wondering, and I'm speculating a little too far ahead from what I should be talking about, because this is a story playthrough. It's meant for people that want to run through the story real quick. But I am wondering if Mordona is going to be a bigger part of the ending. Because in time of filming, there's about 3.5 months until Endwalker comes out. You have the readings? Excellent. Here, let me see the numbers. Yes, 4 of these crystals should suit our purpose, though I pray that we won't need of the power. My thanks, Shadow. Part 5 and 6 are going to be super sore. Clean the wax out of your ears, because there's something I want you to do by way of preparation. The plan's to have you enter Castrum Sentry all decked out Imperial duds, but a disguise is more than just the clothes you're wearing. You gotta act the part. At the very least, you need to know how to perform a convincing Imperial salute. First impressions are everything, as they say. I could teach you the salute myself, of course, but it's best you learn it from the experts. So get yourself near as you dare to Castrum Sentry and watch the Imperials doing what they do. Okay. Yeah, so this running back and forth thing, it's not gonna really suit me. So I will cheat. All this thick aether looks really cool to me. Nothing to report, sir. We have received an anonymous warning that insurgent forces are near. We must redouble our vigilance. I shall Recommend that patrols be increased. It costs a little gil, but I'm willing to give up a little gil to not have to travel back. That's a cool thing. That looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh monster. Yes, you did just see that gorilla fly. So, did you manage to learn the Imperial Salute? No. Best you don't demonstrate. I'm liable to fly into a rage and crack skulls. I'll just take your word for it. Dressed for conquest. You are called Shadow Blyson, right? Yes, I heard of your plight from my friend Galamont. As a fellow adventurer and son of Eorzea both, I would offer you my assistance. In order to infiltrate Castum Sentry, you and your comrades must disguise yourselves as Imperial soldiers. The question is how to go about acquiring the uniforms and helms. There are places a man might purchase them, but individuals who deal in such wares are not the sort to whom you must entrust your secrets. It would be more prudent, I believe, to procure what you have via traditional means, from the bodies of their recently deceased owners. The fortified area before Castum Sentry never lacks for Imperial patrols. It ought to not take long to obtain 3 sets of gear, one for each member of the infiltration teams, Biggs, Wedge, and yourself. When you have what you need, please return here and allow me to inspect the spoils. And walking to Castum Sentry again. I forgot just how tedious this was. Literally back down where we were. On another note, I finally figured out on OBS how to flip my camera. So it actually looks like I'm looking at the screen instead of staring into the distance. These poor guys. I actually feel sorry for these. Wow. Man, I don't have near enough cool mounts. I've been playing this game since 2013. I feel like I'm missing out on a lot. Because I'm still just not a huge MMO player, I'm just a Final Fantasy player. But either way, beside the point. You were able to obtain 3 sets of Imperial equipment. Damaged, as I had expected. In their present condition, I fear these uniforms and hells are to draw suspicion. They must be repaired, if only superficially. Fortunately, the blacksmith Eganolf at the Diamond Forge in Rowena's House of Splendors should be able to hammer them into shape in no time. I've already sent word ahead, and have you assured that he is expecting you. Worry not. We have already impressed upon him the need for utmost secrecy as the nature of your mission. Did I just hear screams? What was I just hearing? Okay, it's people surrounding here. So you're the adventurer Sark Malark sent, huh, are you? I've been waiting for you. Now let's see what you got for me. I see. Yes. I reckon I can hammer these back into shape for you. After all, I owe your friend Sark Malark a favor or two. Took good care of old Eganolf back in the days before I fell in with old Rowena, he did. Did you know he's the son of one of the wealthiest families in the Sultanate? Wouldn't expect something like that to end up in the life he did. But I suppose he always felt the venturer's life calling him. But here I go, blabbering on where's work to be done. Just hold your horse bit for a moment or two, and the great Eganolf will have your gear looking good as new. And there you have it. It won't do you much in battle, mind ye, but from what I hear, that's not your priority anyhow. Do send Sarkmalark my regards, will ye? Since we're at level 46, technically, I'm starting to think that this does go all the way to the end of Realm Reborn. Huh. Have you had the uniforms and helms repaired? Yes, these will serve beautifully. The great Eganolf never fails to impress. The quality of these repairs would fool even a legatus. Sorry. Thus equipped, you should not have any trouble blending in amongst the Imperial forces, lest you fear that Garleans might detect your foreignness. Foreigners, in fact, form the greater part of the Garlean invasion force in Eorzea. You see, when the Empire subjugates new territory, it assimilates the people of that land into armed forces. In turn, these conscripted forces are sent to subjugate faraway lands. In this way, Garlemald nips rebellion in the bud and expands its territory in one fell stroke. With that, my part in your mission is done. I am full glad to have been of assistance to your cause. Why would I, a wealthy merchant, wish to help you? I know not where you heard such a tale, but believe me when I say that I am but another humble adventurer, one who desires only to act in the best interests of the realm. Fool me twice. Good work getting them Imperial duds. You'll be pleased to hear I ain't been idle myself. It took me long enough, but I've finally hatched a plan to get us a suit of magicite armor. Now, from what I've seen, Castrum Sentry deploys a Reaper for most of his patrols. Trouble is, the patrols themselves are irregular, meaning random routes and random deployments, and hardly any of them come anywhere near Revenant's Hole. So hoping to coax the Imperials out of their shells, I took the liberty of feeding them a bit of the false intelligence, told them insurgents had designs on their stronghold. 'Tain't far from the truth, now I come to think of it. Any road. We should start seeing more patrols than we have up until now. What you need to do is approach one of the patrols, dress up in your shiny tin suit, and alert them of the enemy's presence. Having done that, you'll want to lure them as near to Revenant's Toll as you can. Like as not, though, you'll be wary of venturing far from your own walls. Their own walls. If they do need a bit of encouragement, use this smoke signal here. Filch fresh from the Imperial Scout. They'll come running when they see that. And when the cavalry arrives, you hit them hard and make off with the Reaper. Simple as that. If I ain't mistaken, there's a patrol sweeping the perimeter right now, so run along and don't forget to salute. And again, back in that same spot. Okay, this isn't quite the same spot, but... I want to get out of the Fate, so I don't have to hear the music while I do this. Okay. So I need... Oof. I should throw some stuff out real quick. Oh wait, that's the Imperial robe. And then also Scions, Strife, Scion, Toadskin. Where are the pants? Are they boots? Crystarium, Immature. Where are the other, It has to be pants, right? Oh, it was a hat, not a... I have fearing equipment that I don't even remember getting. Where? I did get both things, right? Ah, forget it. One of our covert operatives, I take it. In or out of uniform. You would do well to remember your courtesies. Okay, so I do need to... Oh. One of our... carry on, soldier. Insurgents gathering to the east, you say? Judging by your description, there will be on the perimeter. But I will not have it said that I was remiss. You, return to the scene and keep an eye on those insurgents. Should aught go awry, use your smoke signal to call us. Ooh, that's a big boy. Now it's deathly quiet. It went from loud fate music to that, to this. I hope you don't mind my joining. Seeing as we're seizing advanced weaponry, I thought it would be best to be on hand. Ah, there she is. This is the place. But where's the enemy? Sir, over there. Send in the Reaper. Let's make an example of these insurgents. Okay, so apparently I didn't need to have the stuff on. Which that's a level 50 now, so we can use now a vast majority of our stuff inside of these. Who's healing it? Wait, what was Sid fighting with? At last, our very own suit of Magitech armor. Not wishing to look a gift chocobo in the beak, it does seem rather the worse for wear, doesn't it? Biggs, Wedge, what's your honest assessment? Well, there's the fact that she's smoking, of course, but looking past that, I'd say she was structurally sound. I don't like the way those legs are buckled. I hate to say it, but the servo mechanism may be damaged. But aren't those protected by the elm thick armor plate? They are, yes. It's odd. The casing doesn't seem to have taken a blow. I suspect we're dealing with a faulty part. Well, whatever it is we're dealing with, we're not resting till it's fixed. Not one wink of sleep. You hear that, Wedge? Oh. Cart chocobo. I heard that. A hollow has been set aside for the use in Reverend's soul. That's where we'll carry out the repairs. Look first there, Shadow. Alright. Revenant's toll is just over there, so that's a lazy teleport, but I regret nothing. The Magitek armor. Sid and the others took it inside. Go on in and join them. Whoops. We've now had time to take a closer look at the Reaper. Our preliminary diagnosis was correct. She's structurally sound, but her servo mechanism is faulty. You needn't worry though. Biggs and Wedge will see her restored to her former glory in no time at all. Given those two things to mend, and they will think of naught else till the job's done. 'Tis a marvelous thing to behold, provided you remind them to visit the privy. Every little thing she does is Magitek. The repairs are proceeding apace. It shouldn't be long now before Biggs and Wedge complete their work. There is, however, one small problem. As you may recall, the Machina's servo mechanism was discovered to be faulty. Wedge has subsequently ascertained that the Magitek core which drives it is beyond use. Such cores are rather fragile devices that must be replaced at regular intervals. Thanks to the negligence of our Imperial colleagues, however, the one used in this Reaper was long overdue. Alas, we do not have access to ready replacement here in Mardona, but all is not lost. Wedge thinks he may have identified an alternative solution. Go and see him, would you? He'll explain the details. As I believe the Chief has already informed you, the Magitek core is worn beyond use. We need to find a replacement. I thought about having you appropriate more Reapers, but even if the dunderhead maintenance engineers at Castle Century had remembered to replace the cords, we would risk arousing Imperial suspicion. But do not despair, for I believe there is a solution. To substitute the Magitek core with a mammoth heart. In case you don't know, a mammoth heart can be used to grant sentience to an automaton. By my reckoning, such a device should be more than capable of regulating the armor servo mechanism. We'll just need to make sure that minor modifications to the housing unit. I've already placed an order for the first-rate mammoth heart with the Goldsmiths Guild. All that remains for someone to go to Ul'dah and collect it. Oh, and to pay for it. Did I mention how much they cost? No? Well, they typically cost something in the order of... I hope you don't mind footing the bill. It's for a good cause. So Wedge is just trying to rip us off. We're back home. In Ul'dah. Hello there. Come to collect a mammoth heart, you say? Then you must be here on behalf of Garland Ironworks. I've taken the liberty of picking the finest example we have. A heart fit for a prince among mammoths. Payment? Oh, that won't be necessary. The heart is for Master Alphino's personal use, after all. He notified us a short while ago that his manservant would be coming to collect it. Tender in years though he may be, Master Alphino has been a benefactor of ours since my predecessor's time. The Goldsmiths Guild wouldn't dream of charging him. But here's a mammoth heart. May it serve you well. Oh, and please do pass on my compliments to your master. So that's how he thinks it is, huh? Want to go in? It hardly needs saying, but try not to be seen. Do you have the mammoth heart? I can't wait to see if it works. Hurrah, thank you so much. But this is magnificent. It must have cost an emperor's ransom. Free of charge? Courtesy of Alphino? Coming from an influential family certainly has its advantages. But without further ado, let's give it a try. I've already modified the housing unit, so it should slot right in. There, she's ready. Magitech armor, engage. Or not. She needs a loving tap, I'd wager. Yes, she's alive. Let's take her outside and put her through her paces. Shadow, would you care to do the honors? Hop into the pilot seat. We'll begin as soon as you're ready. First, I'd like you to try climbing that tangle of crystals yonder, as far up as you can go, if you please. Oh, and if for some reason you need to dismount, simply come back here and we'll start again. He's talking about this mound, right? Or this crystal mound. Yeah. I cannot fly with this. Yes. No anomalous movements evidence from either leg. Good. Next, jump back down and then sprint north quick as you can. There's no sprint button for this thing. Leg joints absorbing all impact without incident. Excellent. Please make your way back, Shadow. The torso remained stable during vigorous motion. Excellent. And that concludes our test. Thank you for your cooperation. Here's a summary of my findings. The drivetrain is in sound condition. With some fine-tuning, we can expect a noticeable improvement in performance. As for the servo mechanism, I'm afraid it's not nearly as responsive as it should be, and I'm at a loss to explain why. The mammoth heart is in pristine condition, and should be installed correctly. Perhaps its inner workings are simply too different to operate harmoniously with the armor's other mechanisms. Whereas Magitech cores serve only to conduct impulses, mammoth hearts enable automata to process the information collected by their sensors as feelings. Maybe she doesn't feel like part of the team, in which case, we should do our best to make her feel welcome. So we've made a sentient Magitech armor. Daft as it felt, I gave it my best. I've welcomed myself to a bloody standstill. What were you expecting to do, anyway? Bob was a courtesy. No doubt you're wondering why the servo mechanism is so important as to warrant this silliness. Without it, the pilot will be required to control the armor's every movement manually. This would be an onerous task at the best of times, and wholly impractical during battle. Using a mammoth heart in place of the worn Magitech core seemed to promise solution. Alas, the device does not appear to be compatible with Garlean technology. Wedge, are there no other ways we might demonstrate our appreciation to our friend here? I'm at my wit's end, Chief. She just doesn't seem convinced. We could try a little dance, perhaps, or cheer our heads off. Imperials, they've come for the armor. They had us cornered. There's the Reaper. Taken by the traitor Garland. And is that the Icon Slayer? Oh, bollocks. Call the reinforcements. The hell's he will. We've located the stolen Reaper, requesting immediate assistance. Respond, respond. It's no use, sir. There's some sort of interference. Curse you, Garland. No matter. If we can't reclaim it, destroy it. Bloody hell, Shadow. Protect the core at all costs. I see you. You come back here. Chief, look, she moved. And now she deigns to grace us with her presence. It took us a good while, but we're finally ready. It's time to infiltrate Castrum Sentry and rescue our comrades. There, the finishing touch. The servo mechanism is now fully functional, and all it took was a simple fight to the death. Remind me not to install Mammoth Heart aboard the Enterprise, would you? Much as I love her, I would rather not be required to profess it before boarding. But enough of that, let's see our final preparations. Thanks to Biggs and Wedge, the Reaper is as good as new. We're as prepared as we'd like to get. Escape from Castrum Sentry. How go your preparations, Shadow? We'll leave as soon as you're ready. Glamont, you came. I thought I'd give you all a roaring send-off. It's the least I can do for the fine men and women what are about to make my lifelong wish come true. Well, we'll do our best. It occurs to me, for all the help you've afforded us, we know little and little about you. What did the Empire do to earn your ire? Ah, but I fear I've put curiosity before consideration. I quite understand if you'd rather not relive those memories. No, I don't mind, really. Truth be told, a part of me was itching to tell you my tale. Mind you, 'tis hardly novel. I ain't the first to suffer at Imperial hands. Like most folk, I used to have a mother. She was a sweet, caring woman with a smile never far from her face. There was a sister, too. Pretty little thing. She was gentle as a lamb, though tough as nails. We were poor folk living simple lives, and we knew happiness just the same. And then the Imperial came and took it all away. Then Alamigo fell. They put my family in a camp. Being a lad, I was made to do hard labor, while my mother and sisters were forced to do far worse. They hid their suffering from me as best they could, but I knew, and the thought of it drove me mad. We had to escape, and so I hatched a plan to get us out of the city. We were picking our way around the gorge, not far outside the walls, when they caught up with us, and rather than allow themselves to be taken again, my mother and sister leaped over the edge before my very eyes. Heartbroken as I was, I couldn't put up a fight with the Imperials, clapped me in chains, and dragged me back. 'Twas some years after that I escaped again, and this time I got away. I swore then I'd get revenge on the Empire and become an adventurer so as to hone my skills and earn the coin I needed. But nigh on 2 decades since have gone by, and what have I achieved? Bugger all, that's what. Not like you, lad. You ain't been here 10 minutes, and you've already done more than I managed in 10 bloody years. You give us too much credit, Galmont. We seek only to rescue our friends. Well, what's more important than that? And any road, after you've got your friends back, we're planning on going after the Empire, and don't pretend you ain't. I've helped a few folks take on the Imperials over the years, and every time I have, it's helped stave off my appetite for revenge. But something tells me I won't be going hungry for a while with everything you planned. And you sure that will satisfy you? If you wish to strike back at the Empire with your own hand, you need only say the word. We would be glad to have you with us. Tempting though your offer is, I'm afeard I must decline. I swore to get revenge on the Empire, 'tis true, but I've long since realized that the front lines are no place for a man like me. And that's, some has called me craven, but I prefer to think of myself as a realist. My talents lie in scheming, you see, not swordplay. Helping folk like you is how I can make the most difference. But that's quite enough storytelling for one day. Best not keep your friends waiting any longer. I'll be praying for your safety and success. May Ralger give you strength. Wherever the Empire goes, misery invariably follows at its wake. For the sake of all who call Eorzea home, we must put an end to Gaius' ambitions. But first, we have friends to rescue. Biggs, Wedge, and I will lie in wait east of Castrum Sentry, just outside the Stronghold's patrol perimeter. Join us when you're ready. Oh, and don't forget to wear your disguise, or this will be the shortest rescue mission in history. If I can find what the other... If I can find where it is, I'll wear it. Okay. Lost your Imperial disguises, you daft sod. 'Tis lucky I sought to acquire some spares. In case you've forgotten, these ain't exactly easy to get a hold of. Be careful with them next time. Pothelm. There we go. Even though it doesn't show up, it still counts. Forgive me for saying so, but you cut quite a dashing figure in Imperial black and crimson. But now it's not the time for jest. Let's review the infiltration plan. Castrum Sentry lies just beyond. A short while ago, an Imperial patrol left to do its rounds. Alphano and I will create a diversion out here and keep them occupied for as long as we are able. Meanwhile, the three of you will enter the stronghold, posing as the patrol returning from duty. Should Alphano and I prove less distracting than hoped, I will contact you via Link Pearl. Be ready to beat a hasty retreat. Wedge will lead the way in the Reaper. Stay close to him. And I hardly need to tell you this, but don't do anything suspicious. Oh, unless you wonder, Ida and Y'shtola left shortly before you arrived. We had planned that they should linger in the vicinity to cover our retreat in the event that Alphano and I attracted too much attention, but the approach of an Imperial vehicle forced us to improvise. Don't be too disappointed. They did at least leave a message for you. Something along the lines of, don't do anything reckless. If memory serves, wise words. Alright, the Imperial patrol should be returning any moment now. You'd best be off. Good luck, Shadow. May the 12 keep you.
You have spirit. That I will allow. Yet you struggle to the benefit of none, least of all, yourself. This echo of yours intrigues us. We desire only to understand it, and for that we need your help. You wish to be rid of the icons, do you not? You would have saved yourself a great deal of torment had you accepted our aid from the beginning. Tell me everything, and I shall end it quickly. Refuse, and though you beg for death, you shall not have it. Which will it be? As you wish, my dear Minfilia. Unpleasant though it will be for all concerned, you leave us no choice but to employ more rigorous methods of study. Be so kind as to deliver the prisoners to Castrum Meridianum.
Yes, milady.
So that doesn't bode well. We need to work fast. I'd best get back to my duties. The supplies aren't going to move themselves, and neither are the prisoners, come to that. Oh, wait. I gotta do some saluting. Oh, my apologies. I didn't notice you there. So engrossed was I in my task, you'd be engrossed too had the Tribunus commanded you to arrange for the prisoners to be transported. What prisoners? You mean you haven't heard? Only the infamous Scions of the Seventh Dawn, captured by the Tribunus herself. If you don't believe me, take a look at the storage tower when you pass that way. That's a fine salute. Part of the maintenance crew from Occident, are you? Welcome to Castrum Sentry, engineer. What? Prisoners? Ah, you've heard the rumors then. Yes, they're being held in the storage tower, but I strongly suggest you pay them no mind. You were summoned here to work, not to gawp at Eorzea's defeated heroes. Now, show a bit of enthusiasm, or I'll have you reported. Or a bit less enthusiasm is what he said. Greetings, comrade. Forgive me for asking, but you haven't visited the storage tower recently, have you? I only asked because I dropped something in there, and, oh, who am I fooling? I've fallen for one of the prisoners, alright? I dare say you know the one. The civet blonde? Goodness, no. It's the Lalafelian lass I've smitten with. She's so adorable it hurts. I want to sweep her up in my arms and squeeze her till my arms ache. What do you reckon it would take to convince the Centurion to lend me the keys so I can see her? So he's gross. But we know that Tataru's here. What's this? You need access to the storage tower. What business have you in there? At the Tribunus' behest, you say. This is highly irregular, but it would not do to make my lady wroth. Take my identification key, see that it is returned when your errand is concluded. Security's tight, just as we expected. We're going to need a special key if we want to get past the bulkhead. God dang it. I gotta load it again. No. Minvilia and the rest. Thank goodness they're safe. I'm the one you want. Leave the others be. If you harm my friends, I swear I shall take my own life, and you shall answer to your mistress. Why would they let Papalemo keep his staff? Tataru, we must do something. We risk letting the entire castrum know we're here. Aye, you're right. We may not get a better chance. This is the 3rd squadron. What is it? A Reaper. Seized. When? And this came to light only now? The culprits would have left a trail. Take as many men as you need to scour the area. I want that Reaper found. Now's our chance. That face is funny. What the? Strike my last. Eliminate the intruders. Gotta notice that Thancred is still missing from that. Why? Okay. Shadow, I was so scared. It was foolish of you to come here. You might have been killed. But, thank you. I started to think what might have happened had you not arrived when you did. I say, did you not see Thancred anywhere? I'm beginning to fear for the fellow. To linger here shall yield us no answer. Let us away, ere the window to our liberty closes shut. What did you say? Escaped? Then recapture them. Fail and I shall have your head. And what have we here? The Tribunus herself. Just as you said. You have the eye of an Ahriman, Ida. Well, she's kind of hard to miss in that showy armor of hers. Accursed Scions. How did you slip our defenses? With unexpected ease, if truth be told. There chanced to be a commotion outside the castrum walls, which allowed us to avail ourselves of the comforts of your vehicle. He still is just being polite. This is one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever stowed away in. It's no wonder it's called the Phantom Train. No passenger would be seen dead on it. So you scuttled in amidst the freight, like the vermin you are. I shall be able to have words with your rat catcher. Such negligence is unforgivable. This is far from your most pressing concern. First, you must answer for your own wrongdoing, Livius Junius. 'Twas you who led the raid on the Waking Sands. You who butchered unarmed men and women for the crime of being unworthy of capture. You killed our friends. We'll never forgive you. Nor shall we suffer you to plague Eorzea a day longer. Betake you to your guard. More intruders. Protect the Tribunus. Confounded. Ida, with me. After them. Where is His Excellency? In the hangar, my lady, in discussion with our guest. Alert him at once. Yes, my lady. A lot of no's. There they are. Fan out and surround them. Must protect Tataru. I'm going in. See everyone to safety. Now, Wedge. No, wait. No, Wedge. Don't do it. Oh, no. Shadow. Hold them off. I'll look after Memphilia and Tataru. Okay, so something around here is generating a shield. And we gotta find it. There it is. I don't have tank stance on, but I don't really care. numbers too. Yeah, I didn't think they put one back here, but where is it then? This door doesn't open. And I know it wasn't out here. Oh, it's behind there, isn't it? Yeah, here he is. Alright.
Take the leader, kill the rest. What the?
The Astola! Pray, forgive us our delay.
Papolino, Minfilia.
Ida!
What took you so long?
Well, it's nice to see you too.
The reunion must wait.
Right. First things first.
Yes, let's get back to being heavily outnumbered.
You ditched your Magitech armor. Fool of a Lalafell!
Well, excuse me. She's all yours if you think you can do any better.
But there's no one in there. This is Sid. Can you hear me? I need you to count to 5, then jump. Understood?
One, 2,
3.
4.
I know not which is more pitiful, the charlatans who rule Eorzea, or the masses that clamor for their implausible panaceas. I see that which they cannot. This realm founders for want of a ruler with true power. The power to cast down icons. If you continue to deny this truth, it is the people who will suffer. Embrace reason.
What in the 7 hells?
It's here.
12 preservers. They finished it. Ultima weapon.
So it has a name.
It is a relic of ancient Alag, excavated from its resting place deep beneath Alamigo. The Alagans used it to crush primal and foe alike. And now the Garleans mean to do the same.
Damn you, Gaius!
Look! There! Beside the Black Wolf! An Ascian! An overlord, no less. His garb attests to that.
La Habrea. It could only be him. Thancred! He was La Habrea? No. No, this cannot be!
We have to go now! Hang on!
Thancred! No!
All that time, the enemy was beside me, and I never even suspected. And to think that it was I who suggested that Thancred investigate the Ascians. How could I have been so blind? Small wonder the enemy knew our every move, and where to find us. Confound it all! No, this is not the time for self-doubt. The Alliance leaders staked their hopes on the Scions, but now they believe us all dead or missing. When they learn of the Empire's new weapon, we cannot be certain what they will do. We must go and offer them what assurances we can that defeat is not inevitable.
Cryle, this is Minfilia.
The situation
I
may
am
have
in
taken
some
an
haste,
ill
so
turn,
forgive me if I seem brusque.
but the battle is
The
far from
item I
over.
requested.
And so
Is it
long as
ready?
we stand together,
Wonderful.
there shall ever be hope of
I'm
victory.
sorry to press, but we need it urgently.
The people of
How
Eorzea
soon
falter
can
for
it be
want
delivered?
of such hope. Let us provide
I
it.
am in your debt.
Let us bear to them the tidings that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn are returned. Matters are coming to a head. I hope we can count on you.
My regards to grandfather. I am ready. Let us pay a visit to the Council of the Alliance leadership.
Whoops. Muted. Rally all available forces. I want them ready to move upon my word. And relay to South's firm that the order to sail. That is all. The maelstrom stands by. What of the flames? Ready as would like to be. It need only give the word to Royal. Has there been no word from Ishgard? None. The dragons have got their tongues. Silent to the last. I was unwise to hope for the better. What would stir the Archbishop to open his holy mouth if not this? And he claims the fury for his god. 'Tis bad comedy. The Holy See has made its choice. We will proceed without its cooperation. I believe we are all acquainted with the terms of the Black Wolf's ultimatum. We must agree upon a course of action. Not less than the fate of Eorzea hangs upon the decision of this council. Van Belsar claims to wield the power to smite primals. Should we yield to him, he pledges to rid the realm of its false gods, yet offer resistance, and he swears that we shall share the primal's fate. Pardon me my bluntness, but I like not these choices. This is too great a decision for any one of our nations to make alone. Choose we surrender or resistance, we must answer as one. For if but one surrenders, the rest shall surely fall. Let us pray for the wisdom to go right by all of our peoples. Thancred's plight troubles us all, yet we cannot allow anything to come between us and our goal. So long as the ultimate weapon exists, Eorzea will never know peace. Let us go to the Alliance leader, Shadow, and help them to make the right decision. Okay, and so we bust him out of jail. And so I'm gonna try. Here, wait, let me see something. Okay. On next Saturday, we're gonna try to go all the way through to the end to finish Realm Reborn. We'll see how that turns out. Maybe not. I'll try to split it in two, I guess. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining me. Stay awesome.